Welcome back, everyone, to our 7-person free-for-all series on Dominions 4, playing as Shinuyama. Today I am joined by I Seen You Before. We have quite an interesting episode, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Okay, so there's a lot of battles. I think that this episode is probably going to be 30 minutes of talking about battles. We're going to do them out of order because we're going to save the best for last. There's a big battle in Ivermark, and that's the one we're not going to showcase immediately. We'll start with Summerlands. I don't think that this one is very interesting. It's just, yeah, I don't even know where Summerlands is, and I don't want to. Okay, we can do it this way. Oh, okay. This is Ulm retaking the land from us, of course. I don't know why I have such a hard time realizing that's Ulm. But Ulm just retaking the lands which were theirs by right, and we were only taking them over in order to stop Vanheim from holding them. We'll skip Ivermark. There's a battle in Amphalia. Doesn't look like... I'm just going to do view battle to see where this was. Okay, another coastline invasion. And I guess Ulm wins that one. Battle in Haloma. Why are we attacking?
Oh, remember you said
yes.
no matter what, you're just making your way through.
That's right. So I'm moving from Kennen south, and we're just making our way through. And I think I sent Man some gold for this, and I apologize that I had to do it, but we did it. And I guess we just... Oh, good. Is that Frozen Heart? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we killed it. Okay, so once that's done, they're dead. Okay, good. A Feudal is just a scout from Vanheim, and the reason why they're scouting is because they're coming. We'll look at the Battle of Sea of Karassos, and I'll let you kind of talk about this one.
So in this battle, even though we have a lot of province defense, I don't believe that we scripted the Goblin sorcerer to summon undead. I think that's one thing that slipped off my mind.
Yeah, I think in fact that this one is technically still trying to cast magma eruption, which he can't do underwater, which was also a mistake on my part that we didn't rescript that person.
Yeah, so we can't really win that battle because there's a big pretender over there.
Very scary. 436 hit points. My goodness.
Yep.
So I guess the really important thing to do in this is just to analyze what force is going to be moving to a Feudal. Right? Because they're going to kill this force easy.
There's a bunch of Claymen, there's water trolls, hydromancers, and Fafnir himself.
It's pretty powerful. So that is what we're going to have to go up against if we want to retake Feudal. Because, I mean, in this turn, we're going to put really, really heavy province defense on Feudal, but it's unlikely to help at all. We can do that just because we have money to spend, so we might as well try to make it as difficult as possible, but we don't expect to succeed. Especially against Fafnir, who has a lot of hit points. Griffin Spires, so it looks like Ulm retook it last turn, turn 45, and now Vanheim once again is trying to take it. Okay, Ulm just routed immediately. Oh, okay, probably because their commander died immediately. Yeah, this is potent.
We just get slaughtered.
Uh-huh.
That's the... Sorry, that's basically the effects of flyers. Now, the reason why if people who play Dominions are wondering why it doesn't work with people like Callum, it's because those guys are size 1 right now. The Devils are strong enough on their own, to be size 2 and flying. The Callum units on that.
We have part 2 of the battle, because I guess Man was stepping in with a force to defeat whatever was there, whether Ulm or, in this case, Vanheim. So now we have another one for you to commentate.
So this is actually surprisingly good positioning because Man has all his commanders safely there with the longbowmen between all the Vine Ogres. That's actually great positioning. So if the spellcasters successfully land their Thunder Strikes on the Valkyries or Devils, once they get enough losses, they'll immediately fly away. So let's see. Breath of Dragon is not too bad to break the glamour, so that's not too bad actually right now. I'd probably use a bit more Thunder Strikes. I Yeah, there's a few lightning bolts. The devils are dying. He also has a Vanyol, if you can see on the
Yep.
bottom left over there, killing the Vine Ogres. But he's not equipped though, so he's just buffed with Mist Form and a Flying Carpet. That's all he's doing. So
Misform,
basically,
I just want to look at this real fast.
yeah,
This just makes them harder to hit?
basically every damage done to them will do 1 point of damage.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And I paused it. I just want to see what else he has over here. Just a single prophet. Okay. Ah, I see. So this prophet, he wants to take the throne still. Basically, this is what this is for. To try to claim the throne.
Yes.
Is this prophet flying, or does it also have a magic carpet?
He has a boots of flying, and soul contracts is a very good item if you can get it early because it will spawn one devil per turn.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a huge battle then. Man is really, if he can win this, I actually forget who wins this.
Ooh, I think
Who's gonna win?
there's only a couple of witches still alive. But the good thing is that those Vine Ogres will not rout.
Oh!
Oh, man did it.
How?
Good job.
How did he do it though?
But they just didn't die. They held
Did
out
he
long
kill the
enough.
prophet with like a thunderstrike that I didn't see?
No, it's just that man killed enough of Vanheim's unit for them to automatically rout.
Okay, but this prophet, is it dead or not? That's what I'm really interested in.
I think he just ran away.
Okay. Wow, fantastic. So let's just see for ourselves. Yeah,
The hearse.
still around.
That was
Okay.
actually a great battle by man. He did suffer losing all his Knights of Avalon and some Vine Ogres.
Yeah.
But I think that was only the side force, so his main army should still be standing right now.
This is turn 46. Let me remind you, turn 45 is the turn when Vanheim crushed Das Tactic, slew the Pretender himself, and
Oh.
took back Vanheim. Yeah.
Oh.
So-
Well, still did a great job with whatever was left over here.
Yeah. And it's really sad. I mean, we talked about it last episode, but it's good to see. I actually is really good to see the man is still fighting though. I really am pretty happy about that. I don't know why this totally like just slipped my memory that this even happened. And okay, I'm not really surprised it slipped my memory because we have bigger issues. We had bigger issues in mind. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else interesting here?
No, it's the lost battle.
Okay, there's Justice God has been bought and is willing to fight for a cause. I don't even know what this is. Let's just go into the big one. Ivermark. It is the biggest battle I've ever seen in Dominions 4. I'm not very experienced. That doesn't really say much, but it's still enormous. The just quantity of undead that we're fighting here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be moving on triple speed, but just let me know when you want to pause and talk about something, and I'll let you talk over it.
Definitely. So basically we're facing a crap ton of undead. What Irma will be doing throughout the whole battle will probably be casting the global battlefield spells that will buff all his units, give them bonus attack damage and bonus movement points. So hopefully we'll be able to withstand the first blow coming with the cavalry in first, and our summoned skeletons should then move by the front by that time so that we're able to survive against the massive wall of incoming undead.
You can see
And I
it.
believe we did get our... Did we get our flaming arrows off? We did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are making holes in the army.
Yeah. It's a big army. I mean, this is crazy, this battle.
Yeah, but Irma is using summon undead as well, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also big. Our units are technically better at combat than theirs, but they definitely have a number advantage right there.
What is up with this blue frozen guy?
Basically, he probably got hit by a cold spell. So
Okay.
he's kind of getting exhausted because he's freezing right now.
I see, okay.
Our Summer Lions are doing a good job of setting the enemy on fire. There's still a few costs of cleansing water, magma eruptions making hole in the enemy army. And as you can see right now, the banishment doesn't have that much of an effect because he's been buffing the whole army. Yeah, he has a holy spell that buffs the whole army, and I believe it gives him a bit of magic resistance. Since magic resistance is what is needed to repel the banishment hit, that helps his units be more, well, not die in one banishment, basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we can see at this point that pretty much have no more of a front line. I guess one thing we
We still have Tortuga-san, right? I mean, he hasn't even... Oh, he's 79. Okay, he's getting up. He's almost going to fall asleep, but he hasn't yet.
yeah,
All
he's
the other
been
ones
the one
are
that's poking a big like magma eruption
huge
hole
holes.
in-
Yeah, I've been watching that right here. There's just devastating holes. There's another one. Jeez.
Our Bakemonos are little goblins already running away.
Uh-huh. We do have
Some alliance.
a decent wall of undead there, though.
Yeah, but the big problem we're facing is that all the Ubas fell unconscious.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Look at that falling fires, it's just making holes in the middle.
Yeah. But it's just as soon as we destroy this wall, they just refill it. Oh my gosh, it's just so potent.
Yeah, but you know what? We're holding out not too bad so far. We're holding out not too bad. But we're gonna get the auto route very soon. Yeah, like auto route will happen because the HP of our army is gonna be less than I think 70% than what it was originally.
You mean 30%?
No, like you lose 70% of your original force, like the total HP pool. That's how the auto route is calculated in Dominion's 4.
I see. So if you have 30% of your initial HP left, or less,
So
you auto
you
route.
have 10 soldiers with 10 HP each. If 7 soldiers die, the 3 will auto route,
Okay,
even if it was a morale check.
Now, unfortunately, Takeo, I saw him. He actually hit some of our own troops. Is there any way to get the AI to cast deep into the mess of undead?
No.
Because they do it in the front and actually ends up hurting our own troops. We can see this guy on fire here too.
Nope, unfortunately there's no way to correct the AI in doing something like that.
That's unfortunate, yeah. Well, I mean, I have to say, we've slimmed out a fair number of them.
Yeah, we got at least half of the enemy army, but it's a defeat.
Okay, now the important question, because I am starting to feel like this is... I mean, I know the result, but at this point, my first time watching, I started to feel like, oh, we're probably going to lose this, aren't we? Okay, I was about to say, can they get out? Tortuga-san and his... Oh, no, that's not his prophet. Yukinaga? What are you doing, Yukinaga? Okay, if Tortuga-san left, you really should leave yourself.
Yeah, he's gonna wake up and run.
Okay,
soon.
there. Okay, just good. Get out. Now the undead that we had there, they don't actually retreat, right?
No, the undead never retreat unless the leader died, and they just decompose on the ground.
Okay, good. So they actually held them up a little bit, gave our forces maybe a little bit of time to retreat.
Yeah.
Well, that is the battle. If we want to crunch the numbers, it is a massive horde of undead, 1,700, just wave upon wave of undead. The horde, it's the entire army of Airmore that we're facing here. Sure, they may have like scattered units of 50 and 40 undead troops here and there, but this is Airmore's, this is everything that the Lich King has that he could bring together. 1,700 strong, and we were able to take out almost 1,000.
Yeah, almost.
But we did lose 200 of our 300 elite. These were our elite forces, and we did lose 2/3 of them. So, like, going by ratios, they lost more than half, but they also, the units they lost were not as... they didn't lose any of their valuable units. You know, they lost 1 priest, 2 censors. These are insignificant. If we could have been killing the acolytes, the bishop, you know, the Lich King himself, The Divine Mummy is really scary.
But we did kill off almost all of his sacred knights of unholy sepulchre.
That is true. I probably could have mentioned that. I mean, I just still feel like
And we killed 52 of his lictors as well.
uh, he still has over 100. No, not quite. He has slightly less than 100. 96 of them left, though. No,
Yeah, yeah.
the math is not right. 94 of them left.
I still think those guys really did good, even though we lost. But yeah,
And okay, so now we actually have to start looking to our own defenses. Well, kind of. Actually, I did the math, and you can see we're moving in again. My goal is okay. First of all, a spellcasting army is most potent within the first 4 or 5 rounds, right? Because then fatigue issues start to come in. So you can just dump, you alpha strike kind of with your magic army. Anyways, we're moving back into Ivermark because I'm hoping that we actually still have most of our magic army, and hopefully with the new configuration, which is putting our horde of undead casters in the front, leaving our archers a little bit further behind. Hopefully this formation, and moving everyone back. We were way too far forward in the battle we lost. I think we should have been further back, which would have bought more time for us to cast all the spells and everything, so it would have been, I think, an important difference. But we're going to try to go for it again. And I don't know if... in my opinion, it doesn't matter. We might as well go for broke, right? We want to take Feasible, and considering the forces we've seen in the Sea of Karassos, it's unlikely that... I mean, I'm moving out from Kennen, but this force is unlikely to be able to stand up against this massive army. I mean, not even massive in terms of numbers, just really powerful army. Because Fafnir himself is just really, really, really strong. Especially being in his dominion as he is, with 400 hit points is just insane. So we're going for it, because in order to take a Feasible, which, again, is mystery why it doesn't have a fort anymore, but in order to try to take it, we need to roll the dice. We need to go for it. So I don't know. Do you have any... I don't even know what else to say. This turn might just be... I think there's nothing even else to say about this turn, right?
Yeah, not much.
Do you have any follow-up thoughts on the Ivermark situation?
I don't think it's too much of a good idea, but since, that's exactly how you said it, what's the cost, right? The game is over. It's not like we get to go back home and replenish. That would be great, though, but yeah.
Right. I mean, we're dealing with a turn 50... I mean,
Yeah,
50 turn limit here, so basically it doesn't matter. I don't think that this... I don't really care what this army does if we don't beat it. And this is kind of... It could be like an epic... This battle, by the way, was just amazing battle. And the fact that it took probably 5-6 minutes on triple speed for us to get through it,
Yeah. The saddest thing is that Elmo has all his troops there. I just wish there was a magical way to bring everyone in one spot.
Yeah. Now, there are some caveats to that. I mean, there are some things that I will say. I'm still confused, and I can't wait to see the end of the game, figure out what was going on in Sabout's mind, because, again, Vanheim, at this point it's fine that he and I are attacking, but I still wish I knew what was happening around turn 38, 39, when we were all trying to stop Vanheim from ascending, and Airmore still withheld. He still did not act. Even though he said he was going to take a Feasible, he didn't end up attacking. I'm still very curious what was happening there. And now, I'm thinking about that just because, of course, we can look back and try to, devise a different way. We see where things went wrong. If Airmore had to fight Vanheim, I wonder if they would have been strong enough to defeat our forces. if Airmore was actually attacking Vanheim, I probably would have been able to spare more forces for this area, and I probably wouldn't have needed to send so much to the north. There's little, what if scenarios that I'm basically pulling out, but I mentioned this in an email, actually, in part of my diplomatic exchanges with Man and with Ulm, that Airmore wasn't moving, but I called it. Do you remember that one tonight? I was trying to figure out a fancy way of saying AFK. I was looking up Latin words.
Oh yeah.
So I don't remember what I said in the end, but basically I made up some Latin terms that with the abbreviation AFK. It was like absentum, facultatis, and I don't know what I chose for K because there's nothing in K. There's no Latin words that begin with K. It's all C.
Insult him by saying he has an absent like faculty of a mind or something.
Exactly. It was capitis, but I did it with a K, which is technically Greek. But anyways, what I was saying is he's AFK, but he didn't do anything from turns like 36-ish, 35. I don't even know what he did before then. The only thing he did was attack me. Bottom line, what am I trying to say, right? What am I actually trying to say here? I'm just really curious why, after being destroyed by Vanheim, he decided to give Vanheim a pass first of all, when Vanheim was trying to win the game with the Ascension victory, he didn't end up helping with the Feasible. And I'd also be curious to see what caused him to not want to get involved with Vanheim even after that threat had already passed. But the biggest question is, because basically I'm kind of I would roleplay at least a pretty vengeful nation.
Yeah.
If somebody had crossed me, let's say for example that Man had backstabbed me, I probably would have forsaken the pursuit of the Thrones of Ascension just to go after him or whatever, because that's kind of fun to roleplay. You have the blood feud, kind of like the thing which is going on right now between Ulm and Agartha. That's actually kind of fun. It's interesting to watch. So, sorry, we were both trying to talk here. What were you saying?
No worries. The only thing I'm wondering is like, what would have happened if we just asked Elmo if we could just walk through the land?
It's a good question. I was considering doing this too. I think I've been in contact with Sabalts. The Lich King. I've been in contact with the Lich King constantly. Just send them messages. I've been trying to get just a feel for his temperature. Basically, what is he even doing in the game? Because it's impossible to read, and that's why I invented this AFK thing, because he doesn't even make moves which would benefit him, it seems. And I thought maybe the reason for that is because he wasn't even really interested in playing. And I don't blame him if that was the reason, because he was basically out of the game. However, the interesting thing is he comes alive when it comes to attacking me. He's AFK, and that's what I even mentioned in that email, which is from turn 39 or 40 or something like this, that I basically told Man and Ulm that AFK, absentum, whatever, facultatis, capacitis, or whatever head is in Latin. I said it's a condition where your units, because I wanted to roleplay it, I was saying your units don't move, his undead legion is stuck in place, it doesn't do anything, it's not being productive, it's not moving. Because that's what happens if you just miss your turn in Dominions 4, nothing will happen, you just don't do anything. You don't submit any orders, you don't recruit new units, which Airmore, but he doesn't even have to, he just gets them for free, right? So
yeah.
But it's interesting, I even mentioned in that, when I said that and I suspect that a dramatic moment or some kind of trauma to his lands or any kind of big event will wake him from this state. Basically, if he has a reason to be interested in the game again, which I think my army moving near him gave him a reason to exist, basically. I just don't understand why he didn't have a reason to exist by having the bullseye on Vanheim. And
at one point he said he was attacking Vanheim.
Yeah, he did, but he did not actually attack Vanheim. That's what I'm saying. He agreed to attack a Feasible in order to help out with the throne situation. But I was actually kind of messaging him at the same time. He and I were actually in a discussion about doing a different series together, a different game together, collaborative. And all the time I would be asking him, so what's going on with Dominion? And he didn't really want to talk about it. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe that was just subterfuge and he was playing me. But I can't fathom a reason why, if you're a nation and you just get decimated by Nation 1, why you just don't go after Nation 1 with your forces. I would be very happy in Airmore's shoes to see Vanheim fall apart after they had basically been... They're the reason why he's in such bad shape now, aren't they? Am I wrong? I mean, Vanheim is the one who came in, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
We, even though being his neighbors, of course, we've suffered the negative effects of his dominion, but we haven't really done... I don't know. It's like a really interesting question to me. It's something I can't wait to see the end of the game. We have still a chance to win, and that's what this push in here to Ivermark is. It might be a last-ditch throw. But luckily, we've now claimed these 2 thrones, and we're moving Shadfoth down to Kennen. Our other Bishopfish has one of the magic carpets we've gotten. We could give the magic carpet, the other one, to Shadfoth. He can get to this lab. We don't have a lab in Fever Fens, do we? No. But he can get to the lab in Kennen and then move 1, 2, 3 over with the magic carpet. So we're still in good shape because there's still a possibility for victory. We don't need this force from Turtugusan and all them to secure Ifizabor. If we get lucky and maybe somehow we can take it from Vanheim. So all hope is not lost, but it's certainly going to be a lot more difficult in this situation, like with Airmore fully opposing us, and Vanheim as well. So, so that's my rant. I guess it's not much of a rant. It's a really curious point for me. I really am interested in talking to Sabouts about this. So.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up too. Because he was mostly vacant, right? After Vanheim made him back to being a small plot of land here.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I know it must have taken him a small amount of time to build up his armies, but I don't think that was actually his... I'm putting words in his mouth, but I don't think his plan was just to build up his army once he was like down to nothing. I think he just kind of was playing casual. And I don't want to say this in a negative way, because that's fine. Like, it's the same thing as Dwarf Comic going to AI control after he lost his capital. It's basically the same point. Airmore was brought down almost as low as Asphodel. He was down to, I think, 2 provinces or 3 provinces at some point. Maybe 4. But just almost nothing. So I don't blame him for, like, just, not being interested in the game, but I would have, at least if I were him, been more interested in playing once the person who basically raped your lands and destroyed any chance at you being good in the game just destroyed you. I would have held a bit of a grudge, and not like in real life, but at least as my nation would hold a grudge against Vanheim. Okay, well, we're repeating myself. I'm repeating myself. Do you have anything else you want to mention before we conclude the episode?
Well, maybe they cooperated at one point after Vanheim beat Ermo, because Vanheim was planning to take everything. Then remember, he just backed off.
Do you mean, can you explain that a little bit more?
Originally, when Vanheim attacked Ermo, I remember he almost took everything from Ermo. And then
Right.
at one point, when his army got defeated, he backed off.
That's right. That's right.
So logically, the ceasefire probably moved on to interacting between each other, and
Yes.
knowing Vanheim, he probably used subterfuge from there up until now.
I agree. I mean, I think Vanheim, Waystar himself, let's just be honest, like when it comes to diplomacy, he has a silver tongue. He's very well spoken, so I could see that happening. If I were playing Airmore, would not care about a ceasefire. It would only be a ruse for me to eventually seek my vengeance against the nation which still brought me down to 0. But maybe Sabouts has like a much higher mind about this. Maybe he doesn't mind one person basically bending him over the table, taking away everything from him. And then if they offer him a ceasefire, maybe he like totally doesn't hold any grudge. I would not roleplay that same nation. But I mean, that would be basically my only reason for existing in the game at that point would probably be to just make life annoying for the person who put me in the bad situation. Because Airmore, it's not like Vanheim just obliged him a ceasefire. Vanheim asked for a ceasefire after Airmore defeated him. So it's not like Vanheim gave him anything. Airmore had to take everything he got from Vanheim. We're not seeing the whole story because obviously we need to like go watch their videos or whatever when the series is over. Maybe Vanheim gave him like 4,000 gold or something. Some like you probably couldn't pay me enough to get over a role-played grudge like that, but yeah. We'll just have to find out afterwards. We can speculate on it, and we have. And I think it's interesting. Well, it's interesting to see the viewers' comments about this too. Because it remains a mystery to me. But it only remains a mystery to me. It wouldn't even be something we think about if I defeated his army here. But now it's like you start wondering, well, where did it all go wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry, we did talk about this way. I talked about it way too much. But I can only say that it's something which maybe is the most curious factor to me about anything that's happened in this game. So that's why.
I still think we took over Vanheim's lands at an amazing rate.
This is true. I mean, look at, and kind of one of the bigger questions I would also have for, not as big as the Airmore question, but a big question I would have for Vanheim is, why is he not opposing us? Why is he opposing Ulm, who really was a dedicated ally to him? If you remember, Vanheim and Ulm were at war with Agartha together for a small amount of time. And I don't understand what happened where Agartha was attacking Vanheim and Vanheim attacking. There was a war between them. And Agartha was clamoring for blood about Vanheim. And in the end, they didn't. That all of that bad blood just died off immediately. And we even saw, like around turn 38, when Vanheim does their ascension attempt, that Agartha doesn't even want to assist in defending against it. So it's very strange to me. This is what makes me think that Vanheim has either been very liberal with their gold donations to other nations, or they have really sucked people in with the power of their diplomacy. Because Agartha, who was originally at war with Vanheim, is now kind of friends with them. And Vanheim, who was originally allied with Ulm against Agartha, is now in almost a weird way allied with Agartha against Ulm. Because they're collaborating more than they're not actually actively assisting each other, at least not that we know about, but so.
I think when he attempted the Ascension, everyone turning on him except for Agartha probably played a role in that.
Yeah, so I mean, I understand Vanheim wanting to be friends with Agartha. What I don't understand, I understand Vanheim wanting to be friends with Airmore in the same way. But what I don't understand is what Agartha stood to benefit, what stood to gain from being friends with Vanheim.
I think he was a bit spiteful towards Airmore.
Who? Which one? Airmore or?
My bad. Yeah, I think we've been fighting for a long time, right?
I mean, Ulm and Agartha don't even talk about like trying to set peace between these two nations.
Yeah, we've been fighting. Like the grudge is on since almost the beginning of the game between those two.
Yeah, my point is actually where Vanheim and Ulm were originally allied against Agartha. Vanheim's closest ally up through this game, I would say, was Ulm. Now, it might have, maybe the blow stung the worst that Ulm is part of the team that will eventually be going after them. Maybe that's why Vanheim is so upset, because Ulm is the one who took Griffin Spires, took their ascension attempt away from them. Even though if he pays attention, of course, we also stopped it.
Yeah.
But we were, this is just a 1-point throne. We come to find that it's only a 1-point throne. It's not a 2-point throne like we originally thought. So maybe he holds this grudge against Ulm because Ulm actually took like Might Marsh or Tiasha. It was some other province, I forget. It was in the diplomatic exchanges that Ulm mentioned. Vanheim is kind of mad at me because I took another province of his. And I think Ulm was only taking it to like resecure lines or something. I don't know what it was. I can't remember the exact situation, but it did happen. That Vanheim apparently was very upset at Ulm. But I don't understand because Ulm was Vanheim's biggest ally, and they didn't really like. We've gone total, complete aggression against Vanheim. Same with Man. But us more than anybody, we have been robbing Vanheim of provinces. And Vanheim's response has not been against us as much as it has been against Ulm. So, just lots of interesting little questions that I have about the way things are playing out in the end here. Everything kind of made sense up until the Ascension attempt, until turn 38. That's where everything's kind of gone a little pear-shaped. I don't really understand the world anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Allegiances have changed.
I mean, you've had a lot of diplomatic things, exchanges in your various... I mean, you're very experienced with Dominions 4. Is this par for the course? Is it light or is it heavy on the...
Well, I can tell you a story, right? I was playing Middle Age Man. There was a guy playing Middle Age Pangaea. He attacked me, and when I retaliated, he was pretty surprised. He thought I was a weak nation. I ended up at a stalemate for 4 or 5 turns. I got backstabbed, and I think he got backstabbed too. So I literally messaged him. I said, hey, you know, right now us fighting each other, we're like sitting ducks, and everyone else who's not fighting each other is going to look at us and try to be picking our territories off because we look pretty ripe. But I told him, let's just stop our war right now. We won't attack each other with an NEP of 3, which means 3 turns in advance before we attack each other. And let's go have a U-turn and deal with our enemies. At this point, Chanchi attacked me. I made a U-turn. He made a U-turn. And basically, we killed off the other guy attacking us on our separate sides of the map. So deals like that work too, like a rational deal. Like if we're fighting, people are going to attack us. So let's stop fighting and then defend ourselves. That's what can happen too.
So is the subtext there that maybe this is just a rational explanation for the way things go with Airmore and Vanheim, or
Yeah,
Agartha and Vanheim? You know, it's just this is the logical.
Agartha too. It makes a lot of sense for Agartha because it can go something along the lines like, you know, you've been fighting Elmo this time and he stopped your ascension attempt. You know what? I won't attack you anymore. Everyone at first told me to attack you and I did it. So why should we have a grudge against each other?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't see it that... The Agartha Vanheim one is not something that I question too much because Agartha's plan is just to go after Ulm. They don't really care. As far as I understand, they don't really have like a strong plan outside of just war with Ulm. They have no, like, it doesn't appear any attempts to, or they're not going to make any attempts to ascend. I still think that if somebody just destroyed me, like, completely down to nothing, and I don't have any other obvious enemies, like, Airmore doesn't really have any other obvious enemies, I would go after Vanheim. But we're just going to go into, we'll talk in a circle. I will talk in a circle about this until... I like things which make sense, and I don't yet know what makes sense. This doesn't make sense to me, so I need more. I can't wait for this game to end so I can see what happened here. Where did Sabounce change from, you know, the person who was just destroyed by Vanheim to the person who's now their ally? That'll be interesting. So. Well, we've gone on 38 minutes. That's mostly me. I think literally the last 15 minutes have been me talking about this whole situation, but I have to say I will be interested in seeing the viewer feedback from this. Since this is turn 46, by the time this goes live, the game will be over. So just know that when you get to this video, you now have carte blanche to talk about whatever you want. You can start. I mean, let's save the full game discussion stuff until turn 50s, or I think that's an appropriate place for it, the post-mortem. But you can start talking about anything. The veil has been lifted. Everyone, by the time this video goes live, will be able to talk about anything they want. So, anyways, let's just wrap this up. Any other concluding words from you? I've seen you before.
I still think we lead on points.
That's a good point too. I don't know how to address that with everyone, but what's the backup victory if we don't? We still have a chance, but maybe we'll have to ask some people about this. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, everyone. It's been a long journey. Here we are, and we'll still make our best go at it. This will be interesting to see what Ivermark does. I kind of half suspect that they'll be actually attacking in the Glimmering Fields. They're probably going to go after Scythia, That way, Airmore maybe can end with a point. I don't know. But until the next episode,
Yeah.
thanks for watching and take care.